Workplace stress is becoming increasingly common, but it's something many of us often keep quiet, or don't know what to do about, or even where to turn for help. What you might not know is that your employer is legally required to help you if work stress has become an issue in your life.
An employer has a duty of care to their employees to ensure that there's a safe working environment, and that includes in relation to minimising the risk of stress and stress-related illnesses. There are a lot of things that employers can do to try and manage stress in the workplace. One of the first things they might want to do is to conduct a stress audit to find out what is causing employees stress, and they could even do that on an anonymous basis so that employees feel free to be frank in their answers. It's also important then to look at things like patterns of sickness absence, and return to work interviews can be very helpful for trying to find out what the underlying cause of absence may be, because we know that employees don't always report stress as the reason that they're out sick. Employers should have a stress policy that makes it very clear to employees that they should raise concerns if they're stressed and how to do so, so that really there's a culture of being open about this kind of issue and it's communicated to everybody. Crucially then, training managers to identify situations that cause stress, can give rise to stress, and what the symptoms of stress in their employees are, so that they can help to manage that too. Workers and employees have a right to take time off when they're sick, and that can include if they're sick by reason of stress. But it's really more about what can an employee do when they're in this situation in order to raise concerns with their employer. And I would say in that scenario, it's important to raise your concerns early rather than suffer in silence. Because what I've seen in my work is a lot of employees who struggle on in difficult circumstances, and it gets to the point where they're at breakdown or they're diagnosed with a serious depressive illness. It's important to speak out, whatever is happening, and to try and raise your concerns, often informally at an early stage. So you can speak to your line manager. If the line manager doesn't want to take action or is the cause of the problem, perhaps, then do speak to HR, talk to your union rep or other employee rep. You can seek advice from the Citizens Advice Bureau, indeed ACAS, or you can seek specialist legal advice from an employment lawyer. We know that workers in the UK do some of the longest working hours across Europe. Stress does seem to be a particular issue in this workplace culture. There are other countries where, for example, an employee can call in sick and say they're having a mental health day, and that's recognised and it's taken seriously, because it's recognised by an employer that being open about your concerns and sometimes just taking some time out is going to be more beneficial to an employee, and therefore to the employer, its morale and productivity, than soldiering on in a difficult situation. For more information, people should go to our website, slatergordon.co.uk.